好，跟住請望望中間嚇，中間 keep 耐啲好唔好 ？keep 耐啲，唔該。好，記者朋友係咪前邊司機可能要踎低啦，讓一讓俾後邊，唔該。中間 OK 得未？好好好。好，差不多啦，好嘛？右手邊啦。麻煩大家望望右手邊。好，咁唔該晒。跟住咧就會有第2張嘅合照，咁請另外5位嘅主要官員同埋候任行政長官辦公室主任上台合照。大家都就位就望中間先啦，好嗎？好，前排司機麻煩踎低啦。好，我哋睇睇左手邊嘅 cam， 望望左手邊。跟住望望右手邊。好，咁個合照時間到呢度。多謝大家。我哋首先呢，就請第一排嘅行政長官同埋第一排嘅官員呢，就到台下就座㗎。有請咁多位。咁跟住請第2排嘅官員，亦都請第3排嘅官員。有請咁多位就座。 差唔多。
Testing。
好，請各位記者朋友翻去現在我哋有請候任行政長官李家超上台發言，有請候任行政長官。
首先好多謝各位記者朋友今日嚟到政府總部我哋呢個記者招待會今日係父親節，我亦都趁住呢個機會咧，同各位包括香港市民祝大家父親節快樂。各位香港市民，今日上午中央人民政府公布咗香港特別行政區第6屆政府主要官員嘅任命，我衷心感謝中央人民政府接受同埋批准我按基本法提名嘅26位主要官員予以任命。我並且感謝中央人民政府對我同埋我嘅團隊嘅信任同埋支持。獲得任命嘅26位主要官員將組成第6屆政府嘅管治團隊，佢哋包括21位政治問責司局長同埋5位非政治問責嘅官員。21位司局長裏邊，7位係現屆嘅政府官員，包括6位司局長同埋行政長官辦公室主任，有2位係現職副局長晉升為局長，有6位係現職或者近期退休嘅高級公務員，包括常任秘書長以及部門首長，分別來自政務職系同埋專業職系。有6位係新加入政府嘅人員，佢哋係佔咗我嘅團隊約30%。佢哋係資深大律師林定國、律師張國軍、邱應華先生、盧寵茂教授、孫東教授同埋麥美娟女士。佢哋分別喺佢哋嘅領域有豐富嘅專業知識、經驗同埋地位，又或者有相關嘅聯繫網絡，有認受性同埋執行能力。5位非政治問責嘅官員係廉政專員胡英明，佢係剛退休嘅懲教署署長；審計署署長林志遠，佢係專業會計師、立法會議員，係新加入政府嘅，以及3名紀律部隊首長，佢哋續任，即係警務處處長蕭澤頤、入境處處長歐家宏同埋海關關長何佩珊。新班子嘅26人，女性嘅有6位，佔我哋嘅團隊約莫係1/4，係歷屆政府裏邊最高嘅。有7位係從政府以外加入嚟嘅人才，當中有4位係立法會議員，佢哋將需要辭去立法會嘅職務。我嘅團隊 涵蓋多元背景，包括有政治問責經驗嘅現屆政府官員，有豐富公共行政履歷嘅公務員，外界嘅專業人才，同埋擁有相關界別網絡、地區網絡嘅人士。呢一個班子係一支多元、團結、忠誠同埋執行力強嘅團隊，同我有共同嘅施政理念，重視團隊精神，以結果為目標，解決問題。我哋會以誠懇嘅態度聆聽、溝通同埋接觸市民，積極有為，以贏得市民嘅信任，為市民所想，解市民所困，提升施政效能，同市民同埋各界攜手共進，帶領香港共創更美好嘅明天。最後，我感謝現任行政長官林鄭月娥女士所安排政府換屆嘅交接工作。我更加希望喺呢度感謝現屆政府團隊各人員一直努力為香港服務。我同佢哋共事咗差不多5年，曾經一同經歷不同嘅困難同埋挑戰，建立咗同舟共濟、共憤互勉嘅感情同埋尊敬。雖然未必可以同佢哋一起喺第6屆政府裏邊一同工作，我喺表達謝意之餘，亦都希望佢哋以後會以不同嘅身份繼續參與服務社會嘅工作，包括政府嘅諮詢委員會、公共機構等。我哋仍然係好夥伴，你哋都係我嘅良師益友。未來5年係香港由治及興嘅關鍵時刻，我同我嘅團隊會齊心協力，迎難而上，帶領香港全面發揮一國兩制下嘅獨特優勢，同為香港開新篇。跟住我係用英語向大家講幾句説話。Fellow citizens, the Central People's Government, CPG, announced this morning the appointment of the principal officials of the 6th-term government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to the CPG for accepting and approving the nomination made by me in accordance with the Basic Law. I would also like to thank the CPG for the trust in and support for me and my governing team. These 26 appointed principal officials, comprising 21 politically accountable and 5 non-politically accountable officials, will form my governing team. Amongst the 21 politically accountable officials, 7 are officials from the current term government, including 6 secretaries of departments or directors of bureaus, and the director of the CE office. 2 are currently undersecretaries. 6 are serving civil servants or just retired ones, including permanent secretaries and heads of department coming from the administrative officer grade or professional grades. 6 are newly joining the government, accounting for about 30% of my team. They include Senior Counsel Paul Lam Ting Kwok, Solicitor Zhang Kwok Kwon, Mr. Algernon Yao Yinghua, Professor Lou Chong Mao, Professor Sun Dong, and Ms. Alice Mack. They respectively have a wealth of professional...
If there's any window damage. Now, even reinforced concrete buildings may see cracks in walls and pillars. We're also hearing of the Hokuriku that they're not hearing of any damage And Hokuriku Power currently says that they have no problems reported. Now, the Japan Meteorological Agency will have a press conference at 5:05 p.m. local time. Noto Town Fire Department not hearing of damage so far. Noto Town itself had a lower 5 intensity.
Mr. Siu
And
Jia-yi,
to repeat, a strong
the Director
earthquake
of
struck
Immigration,
Japan's Hokuriku
Mr.
region
Ao Ga-wang,
at around 3:08
and the
p.m. local time. The JMA says there is no tsunami threat. The magnitude of the quake was 5.2. Now, experts have been telling NHK that it is a shallow earthquake, which means that there might still be some shakes coming on. Houses which are not strong may see some damage. And as I've just said, even with strong concrete reinforced buildings may see cracks in walls and pillars. And on the ground, you may see fissures and landslides could occur. Electricity, gas, and water supplies could be cut off. But as we've been hearing, Hokuriku Power currently says no problems have been reported thus far. The JMA will have a press conference at 5:05 p.m. for full details. Again, to repeat, a strong earthquake struck Japan's Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time, a lower 6. The JMA says the epicenter was in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region. Estimated magnitude of the quake was 5.2. The JMA says there is no tsunami threat. An intensity of lower 6 is close to the top of the Japanese seismic scale, and the JMA says under this intensity, it is difficult to remain standing. Again, be aware of your surroundings and pay attention to anybody in your area who needs help, especially the elderly who may not be able to stay safe. If you're in the affected areas, stay calm and pay your utmost attention to the situation around you. We will update you as we get the latest. And as I said, the JMA will have a press conference at 5:05 p.m. Hokuriku Power currently reports no problems, and Noto Town Fire Department not hearing of damage. We will update you as we get the latest. To repeat, a strong earthquake struck Japan's Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time. The JMA says there's no tsunami threat. Estimated magnitude of the quake was 5.2. It was lower 5 in Noto Town. Again, we will provide further details, and the JMA will have a press conference at 5:05 p.m. Now we'll go to simultaneous interpretation.
Inside homes, there may be cabinets which have fallen over. For a while, please leave them for as long as you can. There is a risk of things still falling from here on. At 3:08 p.m., approximately 40 minutes ago, in the Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, there was an earthquake recording an intensity lower 6. Lower 6 was recorded in Suzu City in Ishikawa Prefecture, as we're seeing now. In the Noto region of Ishikawa Prefecture, there has been some active seismic activity. There has been some recorded movement in the underground conditions as well, and specialists have been referring to this as we've been talking so far. We're now going to a press conference from the Chief Cabinet Secretary Matsuno. Today, at approximately 3:08 p.m., with an epicenter in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, there was a lower 6, a strong intensity earthquake recorded in the Noto region. There is no threat of a tsunami as a result of this earthquake. And starting with the local nuclear power plants are currently reporting no problems. With regard to human and physical damage, we are still confirming. Based on the situation from the Prime Minister, at 7:09, we will be having close link and communication. The government will come together with all associated parties, with putting all efforts and focus into rescuing and protecting anyone that requires it. With regard to information about damage and disaster, we will be providing that appropriately, and that was the instruction that the Prime Minister has given. Immediately after the earthquake, we established a center here in the Prime Minister's office to manage the information relating to the earthquake, and we have gathered together a team following the instruction from Prime Minister Kishida. We prioritizing human life over anything else. We will be putting all effort into rescue and recovery efforts. We'll continue to have close communication working between the police, fire department, the self-defense force, as well as the Coast Guard, prioritizing any rescue activity, and we'll put all efforts into that. That was Chief Cabinet Secretary Matsuno's press conference. In Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, there has been considerable seismic activity since last year. There have also been some underground changes in the geology, so there has been some comment made as to that background. From Kyoto University, disaster prevention research, Professor Nishimura has said that coming into this year, that change in the underground geology has settled somewhat, but the seismic activity has continued. And so that level of activity has still continued despite the settling of the geological conditions. And with regard to the earthquake conditions, Professor Furumura from Tokyo University spoke along these lines. So what sort of things do you have to be on alert for where you've seen a large tremor? Well, the largest that was recorded was lower 6 intensity on the Japanese scale. So those houses that are less seismically strong, there may be roof tiles that fall, there may be concrete blocks which are at an angle or that have fallen over. So looking around your buildings and your surroundings, making sure that that's safe is the priority. And from here onward, there is still a fear of further tremors, isn't there? Yes, after a large earthquake for around 1 week, but particularly for the first 2 to 3 days after that large earthquake, there could be another earthquake of a similar scale. Particularly after a large earthquake like this, there has to be alert and caution that there might be another similar earthquake. And this is a region that has seen large earthquakes since last year. So this swarm earthquake activity may continue, and we need to be on alert for that. Reporting in on the situation on the highways, according to Ishikawa Police Headquarters and the highway forces, currently no damage has been confirmed or reported as a result of this earthquake. The police are continuing to look to see whether there has been any damage. According to the highway patrols, currently within the Ishikawa Prefecture's highways, no damage has been reported. Police will continue to look into whether there has been any damage. And Chief Cabinet Secretary Matsuno gave this comment earlier. Today, at 3:08 p.m. in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, there was an earthquake, that epicenter located there, recording a largest lower 6 intensity on the Japanese scale. There is no threat of a tsunami from this earthquake. And starting with the Ishikawa nuclear power plant, across all nuclear power plants, I am currently hearing that there are no problems being reported. For human and physical damage, we're still gathering information. Based on that situation, the Prime Minister issued an instruction at 3:09 p.m. that information needs to be gathered straight away, that human life must be prioritized, government and other authorities must come together quickly and put all efforts into disaster prevention and rescue. Providing information to citizens about information on this disaster must be done in a timely manner. That was the instruction that was given. The government immediately after the earthquake established an office within the Prime Minister's office to manage the earthquake situation, and we have gathered together an emergency team to look after this. Prime Minister Kishida's instructions are being followed, prioritizing human life, gathering information on damage as a result of the earthquake, and fully focused on protecting and rescuing people. We will continue to have close communications between police, the fire department, self-defense forces, as well as Coast Guard to absolutely prioritize human life rescue, and we'll put all efforts into that. In the Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, there has been considerable seismic activity since last year, and there have been some underground geological changes that have been seen, which is being suggested as being related to this earthquake. According to Kyoto University's Professor Ishimura, coming into this year, the underground changes have been settling down, but the earthquake activities have continued. So despite the crust settling, there is continued earthquakes, and there is a possibility that earthquakes of a similar scale will continue. Right underground, the immediate inland areas are seeing these earthquakes, and we need to be on alert for these. Today, at around 3:08 p.m. in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, a lower 6 intensity was recorded in a large earthquake. There is no tsunami threat from this earthquake. Lower 6 was recorded in Suzu City, Ishikawa Prefecture. Lower 5 was in Noto Town, Ishikawa Prefecture. Intensity 4 at Wajima City in Ishikawa Prefecture, and across Ishikawa, Niigata, and Toyama prefectures. Intensity 1 through 3 was recorded across a very large area. According to the JMA, the epicenter was in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, depth 10 kilometers, the estimated magnitude 5.2. According to Hokuriku Power, the large earthquake located in Shika town in Ishikawa, there is a nuclear power facility here, but no problems have been reported in that facility. And looking at the radiation monitoring around the nuclear facility, no changes have been recorded. And where lower 6 was reported in Ishikawa Prefecture, the JMA has said that they will hold a press conference from 5:05 p.m. today to present their information so far. At around 3:08 p.m. in the Hokuriku region, there was a strong earthquake. Lower 6 intensity on the Japanese scale was recorded in Suzu City in Ishikawa Prefecture. There was a lower 6 in Noto Town, Ishikawa Prefecture, and 4 in Wajima City in Ishikawa Prefecture, and across Ishikawa, Niigata, and Toyama prefectures, across a very wide area, seismic intensity 1 through 3 was recorded. According to the JMA, the epicenter was Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, depth of 10 kilometers. The scale, which is estimated to be magnitude 5.2. There is a fear of more strong tremors. Please remain in a safe place. Please keep away from any cliffs or slopes or hills. If there are any furniture or cabinets which have fallen in your homes, do not try to put those back up.
A strong earthquake has struck Japan's Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time. We have been hearing from experts and officials, and we will keep you updated with the JMA having a press conference at 5:05 p.m. But the details are as follows. The JMA says the epicenter was in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region, depth of 10 kilometers. The estimated magnitude of the quake was 5.2. Now, the JMA says there is no tsunami threat. The Japanese seismic scale ranges from 0 to 7, and a lower 6 is close to the top of the scale. And the JMA says that under this intensity, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Wall tiles and windows may sustain damage and fall. And it is vital that you wear proper footwear to protect yourself from possible broken glass. Now, even reinforced concrete buildings may see cracks in walls and pillars. You may see fissures in the ground and landslides could occur. Electricity, gas, and water supplies could be cut off. However, we are hearing from Hokuriku Power currently no problems reported, and they also add that nuclear power plants, no problems recorded there, and also radiation levels, no changes there. We've also heard from Cabinet Secretary Matsuno, who just had a press conference. Again, he has reiterated that he said that all efforts will be going into prioritizing any rescue efforts. Again, the JMA will have a press conference at 5:05 p.m. Just to repeat, there has been an intensity lower 6 earthquake in Japan's Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time. Epicenter, Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region. And again, to repeat, the JMA says there is no tsunami threat. However, experts do say that further tremors may be possible, so please do stay alert. There may be further shakes, so any furniture or cabinets or any glass within your living space, be cautious of any further tremors. Experts do say that after a big earthquake, 2 to 3 days after, there may still be some shakes and tremors. But again, to repeat, Hokuriku Power currently says there's no problems reported, and also Cabinet Secretary Matsuno has stressed that all efforts will be going into prioritizing any rescue efforts. Also, Ishikawa Police has said regarding any of the highways that no damage has been reported so far. Again, we will keep you updated. Now, an intensity of lower 6 is close to the top of the Japanese seismic scale. And as we've said, there may be further shakes. If you're in those affected areas, please stay calm and pay your utmost attention to the situation and people around you, especially the elderly who may need help. We will update you as we get the latest. Now, a lower 5 earthquake has been reported in Noto town. For Hokuriku, it has been registered at a lower 6 at 3:08 p.m. Magnitude of the quake was 5.2. The JMA says there's no tsunami threat. However, experts do say that there may be possible tremors, and you must be remaining on alert. Houses which are not as strong may see some damage. Experts also saying that even reinforced concrete buildings may see cracks in walls and pillars. This is a lower 6 earthquake. And again, to repeat, it is close to the top of the Japanese seismic scale. Under this intensity, there may be damage to structures. Please be aware of that. Again, Hokuriku Power has said there's currently no problems reported, and also Ishikawa Police have said that no damage has been reported for highways. And Cabinet Secretary Matsuno had a press conference, and he also reiterated regarding the nuclear power plants, no problems have been reported. Radiation levels, no change. Now, after a large earthquake, there may be further shakes. Please remain cautious. More tremors may be possible. This was a magnitude 5.2 earthquake, an intensity of lower 6. Again, to repeat, a strong earthquake struck Japan's Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time. JMA says the epicenter was in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region. Its depth was 10 kilometers. Now, the estimated magnitude of the quake, 5.2. The JMA says there's no tsunami threat. Again, the JMA says there's no tsunami threat. Not hearing of any major damage, but again, after a large earthquake, and this was a lower 6, so it's very close to the top of the Japanese seismic scale, there may be further tremors. Please remain cautious. Houses which are not strong may see damage. Even concrete buildings may see cracks, and windows may have been damaged. And again, please be aware of any possible broken glass and have proper footwear, and help those around you, especially the elderly, who may need help in these situations. Again, to repeat, a strong earthquake has struck Japan's Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time. The epicenter was in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region. Estimated magnitude of the quake was 5.2. Again, to repeat, the JMA says there's no tsunami threat. The Japanese seismic scale ranges from 0 to 7. This was lower 6. So it is close to the top of the Japanese seismic scale. It is a large earthquake. There may be further tremors, according to experts, even in the next 2 to 3 days. More possible tremors. Not hearing of any damage so far from officials, and as well as the Cabinet Secretary Matsuno, who just had a press conference and also reiterated nuclear power plants have not seen any problems and radiation levels have seen no change. He is prioritizing rescue efforts, of course. And Ishikawa Police has also reported no damage on highways. And Noto Fire Department not hearing of damage so far. We will, of course, keep you updated. And again, as I said earlier, the Japan Meteorological Agency will have a full press conference at 5:05 p.m. for further updates. Now, electricity, gas, and water supplies could be cut off, and we will give you further details on that situation. Again, just to repeat, a strong earthquake struck Japan's Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time. There is no threat of a tsunami, according to the JMA. The estimated magnitude of the quake was 5.2. Lower 6 is high on the Japanese seismic scale. And please be aware of further tremors and or shakes. So far, officials are saying that they're not hearing of any major damage. We will keep you updated. The JMA will have a full press conference at 5:05 p.m. Please be aware of any further tremors or shakes, and please take care of anyone around you, especially the elderly who may need help in these situations. There's been a lower 6 intensity earthquake in the Hokuriku region at around 3:08 p.m. local time in Ishikawa Prefecture's Noto region. We will provide you with further updates.
Stories about people. Stories about life. Hometown Stories.
我喺剛才發言嘅時候咧都講過啦，我哋係會同市民接觸，我哋係會係出去接觸普羅大眾，係盡量咧係同大家咧同不同社會界別咧係溝通嘅。呢一點我哋咧係會做嘅，大家都睇到我哋會做嘅。咁當然，我哋做起上嚟咧。社會人士呢都係希望我哋咁樣做，因為不同嘅地區有不同嘅問題呢，咁我哋係會同社區上面嘅人士呢係大家溝通。我哋都係會派我哋嘅官員呢係去了解地區上面嘅需要啊，同埋同佢哋係溝通嘅。咁同傳媒溝通亦都係一個同公眾人士溝通嘅方法啦。咁正如我喺嘅政綱所講，我係會成立一啲嘅團隊，喺18區有啲嘅志願嘅團隊。咁我咧就好真切咁希望咧，我哋喺18區入邊嘅呢啲團隊咧係會同政府咧大家攜手合作，等我哋知道呢社會上面佢哋嘅意願係乜嘢，同埋需求係乜嘢，咁我哋係會真誠咁樣做嘅。
好，我哋剔多最後一個問題咧，右手邊前排白恤衫男記者。
你好啊，李生 TVB 嘅。首先想問翻呢，其實今次呢一個嘅問責團隊呢，比較多係可能公務員出身嘅人，其實會唔會係想帶出一個訊息，就係唔會係所謂武官治港呢？公務員出身呢，其實往往都俾人覺得可能係比較着重於程序嘅。咁其實你覺得呢一個班子點樣可以幫到你去做到所謂以結果為目標嘅施政理念呢？唔該。
我相信大家好多時咧都係俾住一啲固有嘅一啲角度咧，去主導咗我哋對事物嘅睇法。喺我去選擇人才去參與我嘅班子裏邊咧，我冇去好認真考慮佢係乜嘢職系嘅。我最主要考慮咧，佢喺佢要去處理事務嘅局嘅範圍咧，佢有冇呢方面嘅經驗、知識同埋能力嘅。你其實睇到咧，係大部分嘅人士咧係嚟自第一，已經係有7位咧係現屆嘅官員嚟嘅，有2位咧就係副局長，而係晉升係局長嘅，即係話呢度呢9位咧，其實都係現屆政府繼續會延續落嚟，因為佢哋喺呢方面嘅表現咧，我認為係會喺第6屆政府咧係發揮積極作用嘅。而且喺嗰個成個團隊裏邊咧，你都睇到我哋積極咧係去招攬一啲政府以外嘅人士嘅，所以你睇到咧有6位係新加入政府嘅人員係佔咗我嘅團隊嘅30%。程序方面咧係重要嘅，但係程序係措施同埋法律裏邊製造出嚟嘅。咁當然我哋去執行程序嘅時候咧，當然係要全面去執行佢啦。但係有過時嘅程序又或者有啲重複嘅程序，我哋如果可以去優化咗佢，而令到我哋做事更容易達到我哋嘅效果，令到市民得益咧，我相信市民係希望睇到呢件事情發生嘅。所以程序同埋結果咧，應該係夾埋一齊睇。有程序喺度係要處理。如果係法律嘅程序，當然如果係要處理嘅，當然經過法律去修改啦。我強調嘅結果為目標咧，係第一，希望可以盡快同大家解決到 一啲長時間問題嘅，大家好想我哋解決嘅問題。呢啲大家都知道，例如我哋房屋土地好多程序嘅，我哋點樣可以優化佢？當個程序喺度嘅時候，我哋當然會執行佢，但係亦都唔應該多年嚟嘅程序，如果已經係不能與時並進，我哋就繼續只係去做一個程序上面嘅行為，而唔理會結果。我相信社會咧都希望睇到我哋嘅結果，亦都係因為咁嘅理念咧，我係喺施政裏邊提出以結果為目標，亦都要求我嘅管治團隊咧去履行我呢方面嘅施政理念嘅。多謝各位，最後祝大家父親節快樂。
多謝候任行政長官。記者會嘅第一節咧就到呢度係結束啦。咁候任行政長官同埋主要官員咧會先行離場嘅。咁我哋喺幾分鐘之後咧會去到第二節嘅環節嘅。多謝各位。
多謝各位。
咁各位，候任行政長官李家超剛才係率領新班子見記者。佢話26人團隊入面啦，當中有6人係新加入政府，13人咧係由現屆政府留任或者係升任。咁佢就指出啦，中央政府係有向佢提供人選嘅方向，咁認為咧係需要廣納人才，有共同理念先至會團結。佢好滿意自己揀嘅新班子人選。咁佢指出啦，團隊擁有多元背景，有認受性，咁同佢嘅管治理念係一致，咁都係以結果為本。咁承諾啦，未來5年會齊心協力帶領香港。並強調維護國家安全係新一屆政府嘅首要工作。咁佢就話啦，揀陳國基啦出任政務司司長，認為佢係有資深嘅工作經驗，人際關係好，對佢係充分信任。咁保安局常秘葉文娟啦將會做特首辦主任。李家超就話同佢認識超過10年，形容葉文娟咧係有全面觀嘅難得人才，為人誠懇，可以喺工作上咧互補優勢。候任特首辦主任葉文娟就話啦，喺政府工作咗35年，希望用過去嘅公共行政經驗啦，協助行政長官同團隊有效施政。現情況先到呢度，咁新聞報道完數。
邀請重量級嘉賓分享
李家超呢就宣布咗嚟緊第6任政府嘅新班子，而家仲佢任命嘅官員係再出嚟見記者，睇下現場。我哋望到呢，就係中間係有
前排攝記可能要摸摸低，唔該。
財政司司長陳茂波，亦都有政務司司長陳國基。
好，差唔多啦，有請咁多位。
亦都有係律政司司長林定國。
OK， 請。
咁佢班子呢係有唔同嘅背景人士組成，最高級嘅3位官員呢，咁其中2個係現屆政府過渡。
首先，我哋請候任政務司司長陳國基發言，有請政務司司長。
各位記者朋友好，今日咧我感到非常之榮幸嘅，獲得呢個候任行政長官提名，同埋中央人民政府嘅任命，成為新一屆嘅政務司司長。我十分感謝中央同埋候任行政長官對我嘅信任。除咗感到榮幸之外咧，我亦都感到肩負好重大嘅責任。我明白香港而家面對嘅種種困難，包括民生、疫情等等，市民呢對新一屆嘅政府係抱有更大嘅期望。我承諾，我一定竭盡所能協助候任行政長官準確落實一國兩制。我亦都會凝聚各方嘅力量，同埋統籌各個政策局，制定同埋全面落實各項有利於香港社會同埋民生嘅政策。此外，我亦都會要求各部門呢精簡程序，提升效能，盡早解決市民生活上面嘅困難。我會同各個政策局研究同埋向行政長官建議香港未來嘅發展方向同埋有關嘅政策計劃。香港未來嘅發展，我認為係同內地係息息相關。我會同相關嘅政策局，會同內地保持緊密嘅聯繫，好好把握大灣區發展所帶嚟嘅良好機遇。未來5年係香港由治及興嘅重要起步點，我哋一定要把握時間，把握機會，為成功落實一國兩制，為香港市民嘅美好生活而努力。我絕對唔會辜負中央人民政府同埋候任行政長官交俾我嘅呢個重任。我一定會盡力協助候任行政長官為香港開新篇。多謝各位。
多謝司長，請司長翻埋位就座。跟住有請候任財政司司長陳茂波發言，有請。
各位傳媒朋友、各位市民，大家好！感謝中央人民政府任命我出任第6屆特區政府財政司司長。感謝候任行政長官李家超先生支持同埋提名我續任呢一個崗位，服務市民、貢獻國家。我感到非常榮幸。我加入政府已經10年，喺行政機關累積咗一定嘅經驗。過去5年擔任財政司司長期間，全力推動香港經濟多元發展，尤其係着力喺金融同埋創新科技方面，並穩守國家安全同埋金融安全呢一條底線，促進發展同埋安全嘅統籌兼顧，同時間善用特區政府嘅財政資源， 提升公共服務，為市民紓困。過去幾年，國際政經格局深刻變化，加上黑暴同埋疫情嘅接連打擊，香港面對相當困難嘅環境。特區政府團隊、社會各界同埋市民一直合力堅韌咁應對。港區國安法嘅立法同埋實施，讓香港迅速由亂轉治，完善選舉制度，落實愛國者治港原則，讓香港進入由治及興呢個新里程。我好高興同埋感恩，能夠參與新一屆政府嘅